Hello again. Today's topic is professional agricultural organizations. Yay, doesn't that sound like fun? Okay, so you should kind of scroll through the slides that are for Objective 101, which is to understand the history, opportunities, and structure of organizations related to the agri-science industry. And we'll move on from there. I'm trying to keep the light on in my room. I have to keep moving. All right, professional agricultural organizations. What is that about? All right, what is agriculture? First of all, some of you are in agri-science class and may not fully understand what agriculture even is. So, anyway, agricultural organizations that are related to the agri-science industry, all right, they have goals. So agriculture, first of all, let's see if I can get to the part. Give me a minute. Anyway, what is agriculture? Let's back up to that question. Agriculture is anything that has to do with the production of our food industries. It also has to do with natural resources. So, with food, obviously, we eat certain meat, which comes from animals, and we eat plants like lettuce, carrots, any kind of vegetables, sweet corn, things like that. Meat, typically, we get in North Carolina. Chicken and pork are our two biggest here in North Carolina, but obviously we eat beef with hamburgers and steak and things like that. So anything that has to do with the production of that, not just the production, but think about it. All right, also has to do with animals. So animal science, well, your pets. So dog food. Somebody out there is producing or making dog food in a factory. Maybe it's a Purina factory somewhere, or someone in a lab is coming up with a new medication for chickens, to help them overcome certain disorders or diseases that they might have, or for your dog, for instance, somebody is making that wormer pill that they have to get every month, or the flea and tick collar that your cat wears, for instance. So all those things that we think about with animals, or all those products like fertilizer that we use for plant growth, all those things have to do with agriculture, not just raising a certain type of plant or raising a certain type of animal. It's all those other things as well. All right, so anyway, moving on to organizations that are related to the ag industry. What are some of the goals? Well, each organization, first of all, it allows professionals the opportunity to get together, to network, to meet other people, to learn new things, and to communicate with one another. So if I am a farmer, for instance, and I'm not too satisfied with how well my corn grew last year, I can go to a farm trade show, for instance, and meet up with seed dealers or seed salesmen from other companies that might have a different, better product, or a product that'll work better for my situation. I might be able to see new farm equipment at that trade show that will work better on my farm, or make something easier, or make something go quicker, or make something be more efficient on my particular farm. All right, so I just talked about trade shows. So some of you may have heard, well, the state fair, for instance, has a trade show, because you'll see a lot of things there where different companies will display their stuff. But there's also a farm show. It's usually the end of January, first part of February, that's in Raleigh. at the fairgrounds. And I mean, there's everything from logging equipment to tractors for a farm to chainsaws to seed salesmen, like I said before, truck dealerships, anything that you could think of, a fertilizer company, other equipment, not just tractors, but other equipment that might be used on a farm as well. So any of those things might be found at a trade show. And then there's also journals. With journals, when I think of a journal, I think of a magazine. So there are agriculture and farm magazines that people can look at information about new products, new ways of doing things, and things like that. So my lights keep going out here. I gotta move. All right, there. So that's trade shows. It updates people on new methods, new products, and new technology, because there's a lot of technology used in agriculture now that we'll get into a little later, maybe. All right. So a lot of these organizations that that you might come in contact with, they have membership dues sometimes, and they use those dues for commodity advertisement. Well, what's a commodity? If you're looking at the slides where it says uses membership dues, commodity advertisement. What is a commodity? Well, an example of a commodity would be corn. Corn is a commodity. Pork is a commodity. Strawberries are a commodity. So those groups will use that dues money to advertise for that industry in general, not necessarily a specific brand of corn, but just, saying that corn is out there. It's in a lot of different things, and we use it for a lot of things, and just gives information on that. Trade journals, I kind of talked about journals being kind of like a magazine. They'll put out trade journals to give information to those members of these organizations. And I'm talking about organizations in general. I'll talk about specific organizations here in a minute. All right, there's also educational programs. They might put on a clinic for a group of people, maybe a group of farmers learning about a new way of raising whatever their crop is, or putting on an educational program about a new product that is used to worm cattle, for instance, to keep their health where it needs to be. All right, and it also sometimes these organizations provide scholarship for its members or the children of those members, like the sons and daughters of these members might be eligible for college scholarships. And they, like I said before about commodities, these organizations are usually commodity related. So that moves us on into organizations that are related to the agri-science industry. We got the Corn Growers Association. So the National Corn Growers Association, NCGA, that's obviously, it's a group for corn growers, farmers that grow corn. And it gives them all kinds of information on new technology, new methods, new equipment that can be used in that. The North Carolina Pork Producers is another one. And they promote and educate socially responsible and profitable pork production and so on. So, think about food safety. We don't want a pork product that's been pumped full of steroids. That's what you hear all these groups say, oh, don't eat, meat, it's pumped full of all these steroids. Well, actually, it's not. My video just stopped doing. Anyway, I'll keep going and hope that it keeps going. Anyway, Pork Producers Council promotes and educates socially responsible. Yeah, we want good food, all that kind of stuff. All right. Others, North Carolina Nursery and Landscape Association. So things having to do with landscape plants, things like that. American Quarter Horse Association has to do with, obviously, with the breed quarter horses. So the American Quarter Horse is the largest breed of horses in the United States. Well, they have an organization related to that. So anyway, Christmas Tree Association. I'm not going to go through all these, what they are, but obviously real Christmas trees. All right, I'm going to stop right there for now and break this video up so it doesn't kill all the data.